In this video, we're going to take a look at the Ross Gunnison fly reel. This reel has been redesigned for 2018 and is really a modern take on an old classic fly reel that many guides and anglers loved for many years. This is still a very durable reel. It's a chunky reel as well. It's not quite as fancy or as light or as ported as, like, let's say the new LTX, but this reel was really designed with guides in mind, and also guys that are just looking for a durable reel that you can bang around on the drift boat, in the rocks, and really take some abuse. So you can see it looks a lot like the old reel, but there's a lot more porting. You can see there's a lot of little holes in there. They really tried to lighten up the reel as much as they could while still maintaining that chunky, durable feel and look. I really like the matte texture on this reel as well. A lot of the new reels are high gloss finish. I just love this matte black. This is really kind of my thing. It's understated and just looks durable and just kind of classic. It does have a really cool reel handle as well. It's a micarta. It's kind of like canvas. I think they actually machine it as well, carve it out. Really cool little piece. Has a little bit of texture to it and helps maintain grip when the reel is wet. So this is a size 4.5. It actually doesn't really say anywhere on the reel. You can look on the reel seat, which is kind of neat. They've kind of hidden the size there, not to really take away from the classic Gunnison font there, the Colorado logo. They didn't really want to squeeze it in there, so they put it on the reel foot, which is kind of right, in my opinion, where it should be. Really neat reel. Has a really nice sound to it. Reminds me a lot of a nice watch. Good sound to it. Has a very adjustable drag. This drag is like infinitely adjustable. You can sit here and tighten it 10 turns and you just have a little bit of tension. You can tighten another 10 turns and you have a lot more, and you can just lock it all the way down. You could probably twist that thing 20 or so turns, so it's just got a really fine adjustment, really fine tuned. You can hear nice little clicks. Just sounds just like a watch, just like a nice Rolex. And we'll just back it all off there. Now this drag has a stacked drag system. To pull the spool off, you actually just yank it off, just pull it off. Stacked drag, just like on the Evolution LTX, their space age reel. It's a carbon steel drag system, very compact. The reason it's stacked is you get many drag surfaces wedged into this little tiny thin package. I really also like they've gone to all metal kind of design here. There's no more plastic, no more chintzy little pieces. This really looks like kind of just a bomb-proof drag system. Not a whole lot for grit or sand or weeds to get caught in, just really simplified. Now, to flip the spool or flip the retrieve, you got to take the spool off and you flip this little one-way kind of clicker system. Now you really want to be careful that you don't do this on a soft surface or a surface where you can lose these little screws. These are little tiny, like machine kind of screws almost, or electronic screws, are really tiny. So I do it on a nice white table, kitchen counter, and the first thing you're going to do is just unscrew all 3 of those. Be very careful not to drop them. You need a little tiny screwdriver also to do this. My fly tying fingers come in real handy in this situation. Then once you get the screws off, you're just going to pull out this little one-way clicker system here. Just flip it over. Now to put these screws in, it's a little tricky. You can't really do it with the screwdriver. They just kind of tip over and flop around. So what I've found is you just take the screw, get it in the hole, and just give it a half a turn with your finger or your thumb, then come in and tighten it. I made that look really easy. I can guarantee you the first time you try to do this, you're going to drop them. So like I said, make sure you're on a kitchen counter or a dinner table, just a workbench, something where you can find these screws if you fumble and drop them. You can even put a little towel underneath. That way if you drop them, they don't bounce off the table. That has actually happened here a couple times. So really make sure you don't lose these puppies. You don't want to have to call Ross and ask him to send you another screw to your brand new reel. Also be careful not to cross thread them. And when you tighten them down, they don't need to be torqued super tight. Just make sure they're tight and they're not going to go anywhere. Then all you have to do is just press it back onto the frame. That's all there is to switching the retrieve on that Gunnison fly reel. This reel is a really cool new reel. They're really doing some different things over there that are very different than a lot of other reel companies out there. And this reel will be going in my kit this year to fish with out there on the river. You can find this reel at your local fly shops. And this one here is the 4.5 size. I think they retail for about $385. The 5.6 and 7.8 size are just a hair under $400. I think they're like $395. So that is the Ross Gunnison fly reel.